So you're thinking about moving to Jacksonville, Florida, but you want to know the good, the bad, the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, the ugly. What's the skinny on living in Jacksonville, Florida? And why Jacksonville and maybe not like some of the surrounding areas like St. Augustine or Orange Park, Fleming Island, Green Cove Springs, any of those other areas that are in and around the Jacksonville area? We get this question all the time, and so I figured it would be best to make a quick video so that way you can learn all there is to living in Jacksonville, Florida, all the pros and the cons, so that when you reach out, you already have a good idea of whether you want to be in Jacksonville or maybe one of the other surrounding areas, so that when we do talk, we'll have a chance to just focus a little bit more about the property that you're looking for and not so much the area. So we're going to jump into it. You're going to learn everything you need to know about Jacksonville, Florida, and we're going to jump to it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Jacksonville, Florida or the surrounding areas like St. Augustine, then hit subscribe, tap the bell for notifications so that you'll be the first to know everything that's going on here in the market in Jacksonville. Hi, my name's Chris Snow with the Florida Coastal Team, and my team and I, we get phone calls, texts, and emails from folks just like you looking for help in moving to the Jacksonville, Florida area, and we absolutely love it. So if you're looking at making a move in the next few minutes or the next few months, we'd absolutely love to help you out, and just give us a call, text, or email, and all our contact information is at the bottom of this video. So as I mentioned, we're talking about the pros and cons of living in Jacksonville, Florida. And I remember moving here back in 1994, and there was a lot of excitement and a lot of buzz in the city because there was talk that Jacksonville was going to be getting their first NFL franchise, and they tried for years and years and years. And so when they finally got awarded the franchise in 1995, I was right there. I was in college. It was amazing. And just to see the growth from 1995 until where we are today, it's been absolutely incredible to see the city grow and flourish. So let's get into some of the pros and cons. All right, let's start off with the pros. The weather in Jacksonville is absolutely amazing. 9 months of the year, we have really fantastic weather. We actually have 4 seasons, which our folks down in South Florida, they really don't have seasons down there. It's just kind of one temperature throughout the year. But you come up here, we have a definitely spring, summer, winter, and fall. If you like being outdoors, you like seeing a change of season. We don't get the leaf change like you get in parts of Georgia and South Carolina, North Carolina, and then up into New England, but we definitely have a fall time period, and the winter here is actually very, very moderate, about 55 degrees during the winter time. Harshest time that we have during winter is usually late January to about mid-February, so we have about 3 weeks that it really gets really, really cold, and for us, really cold is about 44, 45 degrees. I bundle up. I've lived in Florida pretty much my whole life, so but yeah, the weather is absolutely amazing 9 months of the year. The next thing I want to talk about for pros is that the airport and the location is very, very convenient to anywhere around town. And because it's an international airport, you have the ability to fly pretty much anywhere in the world. Lots of connector flights, lots of direct flights. Pretty much get in and out of the airport without spending a lot of time in traffic or trying to find parking spots. So it's a very accessible airport. The next thing that I love about the city and is a pro is that we have professional sports here. Now, professional sports really help out the local economy and housing market and stuff like that. So what we've seen is a lot of growth in Jacksonville. As I said in the opening, we got the franchise, the NFL franchise back in 1995. And so when the Jaguars came, all of a sudden, you started to see the city grow. You started to see lots of new construction, lots of new development, which again takes me to another one of our pros. But the professional sports scene in and around Jacksonville is really unique, and it's really fun. Not only do we have NFL football with the Jaguars, we have AAA baseball with the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. We have minor league hockey with the Jacksonville Icemen, minor league basketball with the Jacksonville Giants, and we have the Arena Football League with the Jacksonville Sharks. So if you want to go and you want to watch football, basketball, golf, or football, basketball, tennis, anything, we have in and around the area, professional sports that are constantly coming in and out of there. Up at Amelia Island, you have the Bausch and Lomb. Out at TPC Sawgrass, not too far from Jacksonville, just outside of Jacksonville, you've got professional golf that comes there with the Players Championship. So if you like sports, Jacksonville's a great place to be. The next thing we like to talk about in Jacksonville, one of the pros, is that there's water everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I mean you've got water everywhere. We've got 22 miles of beaches, of the Jacksonville beaches area. So if you like being out, hanging out on the beach, we've got great sandy beaches. You've got waves that are coming in, whereas our folks over on the Gulf side don't really have that. So you've got waves coming in and out there. So we actually have a tide and a surf. And if you like water sports or being on a boat, not only can you do boating out on the ocean, but we have the Intracoastal Waterway, and we also have the St. Johns River. So if you like being out on the boat, you like that boat lifestyle, there are many, many opportunities for you to do that here in the Jacksonville area. The next pro that we're going to talk about is the cost of living. Cost of living in Jacksonville is very, very low compared to some of our other major cities that are not too far from us, whether it's Orlando, Tampa, Miami, Atlanta, just going up into to Georgia there. So our cost of living, very low, no state income tax. So again, really, really affordable to live here in the Jacksonville area. If you like being outdoors, you like going to parks, you like doing the outdoor scene, Jacksonville boasts the largest amount of, or highest number of parks of any city in the United States. And we have over 80,000 acres of parks so that you can go out, have picnics and bring the dogs and the families and stuff like that and hang out there. So if you like going and visiting parks, they're everywhere in Jacksonville. You'll never have to go too far to get to one. Tons of concerts come, not only at the Veterans Memorial, but we also have an outdoor amphitheater with Daly's Place, and that's attached right to the Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium. So lots of opportunities to go and enjoy live music. So the music scene here in Jacksonville, really, really good. If you're a foodie, great restaurants. We have some of the best and freshest seafood that you'll find. Obviously, we're right here on the water, and so you're going to have a great food scene. People will absolutely love coming, especially you get out in and around the beaches. So many little mom and pops and little small restaurants that are out there. You'll absolutely love it. The last thing that I'm going to go as far as a pro is that because the city is growing, and when I say we're growing, we're a big city with a small town feel. There's just about 1.3 million people in the metro area, the greater metro area of Jacksonville. Because the city is growing and over 2,000 people per month are moving to Jacksonville, so our population is continuing to grow, continuing to expand, it has forced us to do more and more new construction. And I lived up in the Northeast for a very short period of my life. You could not find new construction. If you did, you'd have to go buy a plot of land and build new construction. It would take forever. So you didn't see a lot of new homes being built, and you just had a lot of older homes that you'd have to renovate. Well, here in Jacksonville, we have tons of new construction. New construction on every side of the town, north of town, south of town, west of town. Can't really go east of town because that gets us into the ocean, but hey, you could be on a boat there. But yeah, tons of new construction if you like a new house. Now let's shift gears. Those are all the pros. Let's talk about, why not live in Jacksonville? Not every place, there's no perfect place to live. And so I'm going to go over some of the cons that I hear from people on a regular basis and, do some research online and see some of the things that folks from outside the city point out. But the first thing is one, it gets hot, and when I say it gets hot, it gets really hot. Into July and August and early September, it gets hot and humid. If you're going to do anything outdoors, you need to do it before about 11 a.m. After that, it gets really hot. You got to make sure you stay hydrated. But it gets, like I say, it gets hot. And we won't beat a dead horse on that. But you got 9 months of the year 9.5 months of the year that it's very, very great weather. You don't have to worry too much about it being hot, no humidity. And it's an awesome time to be in and around the area is outside of July, end of July, August, and in September. The next thing, when I was talking to somebody the other day, they're like, yeah, I got caught up in traffic. I'm like, well, how long were you in traffic? They're like, well, I was stuck about 30 minutes. Traffic here is terrible. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. I live down a little bit south of town, so we don't run into that too much. But in and around the downtown area and coming from the beaches, you'll find that. And in the map tour, I'll talk a little bit about the map tour video that I did. I talk a little bit about some of the traffic spots and how to avoid those. But when it comes to traffic, when he was telling me that he got stuck for about 30 minutes, I'm like, yeah, man, it can get a little bit dicey certain times of the day. And I thought our traffic was bad. And then I went up to Atlanta on a training event and training trip and went up there. And next thing you know, I look and it's like, man, we were sitting in traffic for almost 2 hours. And so my 30 minutes of backup, and that's not even on a daily basis. On a daily basis, it may be 15 or 20 minutes of backup. But if you get into a really bad traffic day, it might be a 35, 40-minute backup. But that's not every single day. So traffic can be a little bit hairy depending on where you're at and what time of day. But compared to other big cities, it's not that bad. The next thing is that Jacksonville is a huge geographic area. We are actually the second largest or largest, depending on the month, land city in the United States. So we have the city of Jacksonville covers more land than any other city in the United States. And because of that, if you want to take advantage of everything that Jacksonville has to offer, then that means that you're going to have transportation. Unless you're going to stay within a very small area and you're not going to commute too far from that, then you can walk. There's some public transportation. But really, if you want to get to any other parts of town, there is public transportation. It just takes a little while, again, because we are a big area and a big land area that you're having to deal with there. The next con is that our incomes, compared to some of the other major cities and other major metro areas, not only in Florida, but in the surrounding states, our median incomes are a little bit lower in Jacksonville than some of those areas. And part of the reason that is that our cost of living is also lower. So employers here, they don't have to pay quite as much because, again, the cost of living, it doesn't cost nearly as much money to live in Jacksonville as it does in Orlando or Miami or Tampa or Atlanta or New York, some of those areas. So the next thing, and this is the one that people don't really like to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it anyway, but it's bugs, snakes, and alligators, okay? We're in Florida. We've got a tropical climate, especially during the summer. There's going to be some mosquitoes. You're going to have some bugs out there. Definitely snakes, especially in the in and around the water areas. You're going to run into different snakes that are out there. And also our best friends, the alligator. I don't want to say they're friendly, but they're out there. If you see standing water anywhere in the greater Jacksonville area, just know that there's probably an alligator that's living there. But the good thing is if you let them, mind their business and you mind your business, you really don't have to worry too much about alligators. So the last thing is, and one of my teammates brought this up to me the other day, and I asked him, hey, give me some pros and cons. You guys living here in Jacksonville? He goes, it doesn't snow. And so for you guys who like snow at Christmas, I've only been here, I've lived in Florida and lived in the greater Jacksonville area for a long time. It only snowed one time on Christmas. That was in 1986, I believe. So if you're looking for a white Christmas, you are not going to get that here in Jacksonville, Florida. But you will be able to wear shorts, flip-flops, and probably jump in the pool on Christmas Day. Those are the pros and cons of living in Jacksonville, Florida. Love to connect with you. If you've got any questions, reach out. Thanks. Chris Snow, Florida Coastal Team.